Stellar Blade. Yes, I'm back with one last video on it. I just thought it wouldn't be complete if I didn't share my feelings on it. I've actually been interested in this game way back around the first trailer, maybe, back when it was called Project Eve, which I ended up forgetting about, then it happened.
Have you seen the ladder clip in Stellar Blade? Ass physics are actually insane. Yeah.
So basically what ended up happening, Stellar Blade had something that had the words hard, and then like there was an R after that. This is what's funny about a controversy like this, is the implication. Do you really think that the makers of Stellar Blade wanted to put the N-word in the game?
And we guys have to talk about one of the wildest dramas that I have ever seen. Not ever seen, but over the weekend. Stellar Blade.
What is the actual game like?
Gameplay. I mean, you fight very creatively designed monsters, has an intriguing story, the mechanics are fun, combat's amazing. But the highlight? She got a fat old ass.
This game not only came back to my radar, but everyone else's too. So many complaints were flooding the internet to the point where even Sony had to request for censorship. This only boosted the game's popularity. It was at the top of PlayStation's charts for weeks with high ratings. As a new IP, that's very impressive. Here's where I will tell you my personal opinion about the game. Stellar Blade isn't worth your time if you're looking for an amazing story experience. This game takes place far into the future in the middle of a war between humanity and the monsters called Naytiba. You play as a woman named Eve, who's the last of her squad. Her goal is to get to the elder Naytiba and put a stop to them all with the help of her allies Adam and Lily. While doing so, she assists with saving the last city of humanity led by the Oracle. That's the most I'll tell you about what happens. Almost everything felt predictable, but the characters and the gameplay kept you going. I enjoyed my moments arguing with Adam and listening to Lily freaking out about technology. There were also my memorable side characters, Sue, Enya, Kaya, and more. Each with their own hardships and reasons for living. You end up helping them reach the closure that they needed. For the gameplay, it really felt like an attempt to fusing Nier with a Souls game, though it failed the difficulty part, besides the last few bosses.
No! I was right there!
No!
What? There was so...
Keep note that this is just for the first playthrough. You unlock hard mode after beating the game. The skill tree wasn't too exciting after a couple of levels, besides when you finally unlock a new tree to level up. The gun felt useless besides when used in certain areas. I don't know, maybe I was using it wrong. Still, I never found myself getting bored of the combat. Must be because of the nice change of enemies as you progress that have some way of messing you up if you turn your brain off. The combat is very focused on parrying and dodging, meaning if you can't adapt fast, you'll be faced with many attempts against the boss. They all had very different movements and attacks from one another that would always get you up from your seat when you're about to face another one. Then there was the many distinct atmospheres between each area in the game. Starting from the somber, crying city with the remains of the humanity before the war, to going through intense hypertubes for travel in a desert. Oh, and I just have to mention how insane it was to use the DualSense controller for this game. You can just feel basically everything Eve feels. From the drops of rain landing on you to the movement of monster moles in the ground. All of that made me ready to pick up my controller and move on to the next area. Exploring really took advantage of the tools given to you for finding hidden locations, collectibles, gear, or even entry logs that add on to the story. But let's move on to my favorite part of the game. Fishing. It was a surprise to find this in the game, but a welcomed one. I spent so much time trying to fish out every fish in the game, even pulling out a whale shark. Felt like I was playing Animal Crossing again, just to be rewarded with an outfit at the end of it, which brings me to my next favorite thing. Swimming. Alright, no, it was the cosmetics. There was so much to choose from, I had to change up Eve's look before the start of each new area. My biggest complaint was the lack of for Lily, Adam, and even the drone. Though, what really stuck out for me the most in this game was the music. I fully believe they sacrificed the money for writers on this game. They knew precisely what to play at each moment. The music properly conveyed the characters' emotions and intensity of the current situation. This song right here was filled with sadness, confusion, pain, and regret. Eve being faced with a task she would have never imagined. Altogether, I say this game was very enjoyable. Besides the predictable story, I give it a solid 7 out of 10. It nailed everything else you would want in a game and more. In no way I'm saying that the story was terrible. I'm invested in it. You can especially tell after my reaction to the ending.
What kind of ending is this?
I want to see what happens. Nah, I gotta walk away. I gotta walk away from this. I can't believe this, bro. This is not the ending I was looking for when I opened up this game. All I can say is, I want more companies and game makers to not be afraid to express their creativity because of the internet. At the end of the day, it just matters if the game is fun. I would recommend this game to anyone, and I can't wait to see how it continues.